You ever notice how religion has this weird way of turning the infinite mysteries of the universe into a bunch of rules? I mean, here we are on a little blue rock spinning through space at thousands of miles an hour. Nobody knows what the hell we're doing here. And somebody says, don't eat meat on Fridays. Really? That's the big cosmic message? The creator of galaxies, quasars, black holes, and DNA wants to make sure you don't have a cheeseburger on the wrong day. That's not divine wisdom. That's micromanagement. And these rules always come from people wearing fancy robes, standing in gold-plated buildings, telling you that you're the sinner. That's convenient, isn't it? We're close to God. You're the problem. That's the whole business model right there. It's a guilt and money operation. They get the power, you get the guilt, and somehow the cash always flows uphill. Ever wonder why God's house always needs a new roof, but he's supposedly perfect? You'd think an omnipotent being could handle a little water damage, and they always need your money. They never ask for divine funds. You never see a miracle check show up in the mail from the Almighty. It's always, we need you to dig deep this Sunday. They say God loves you unconditionally, but he still wants 10%. Sounds less like divine love and more like a spiritual protection plan. Give me 10% and I'll make sure you don't burn forever. That's not religion, that's cosmic insurance. And the pitch never changes. God loves you, but he's watching you all the time. Every move, every thought. That's not love, that's surveillance. Even the government would say, hey, tone it down, big guy. I mean, imagine dating someone who acted like God. Constantly judging, constantly watching, waiting for you to mess up so they can punish you forever. That's not a relationship, that's a stalker with thunderbolts. And for a being that supposedly created the universe, he seems a little insecure. Always needs people to tell him how great he is. Songs, prayers, praise, every Sunday, millions of people stroking his ego. You're perfect. You're great. You're holy. If you met a person like that at a party, you'd leave after 5 minutes. Hey, this guy's got some serious self-esteem issues. But no, when it's God, suddenly it's faith. Faith. Another beautiful word that means I believe something for which there is no evidence, and I'm proud of it. You gotta love the sales pitch, though. Believe what we tell you or else. Or else what? Eternal punishment? That's the ultimate hustle. Sell people on salvation by scaring the hell out of them. It's like the ultimate cosmic carrot, and stick paradise if you behave, eternal barbecue if you don't. And the criteria for behaving always seem to line up perfectly with whatever the church leadership wants. Funny how that works. The big rule book always matches the interests of the guys holding the rule book. You ever notice how the all-loving, all-powerful deity always seems to hate the same people the preachers do? Coincidence. God hates this group, God hates that group. Really? You're telling me the divine creator of the entire universe, with billions of galaxies to manage, is worried about what 2 consenting adults do in their own home? I don't think so. I think somebody's projecting their personal hang up onto the sky. And what is it with these holy wars? Fighting over whose invisible friend is better. They all claim to have the true message, the real book, the correct set of invisible instructions. It's like spiritual customer service. Press 1 for heaven, press 2 for hell, please hold while we verify your belief system. And if you pick the wrong one, apparently it's eternal damnation. No refunds, no exchanges, no appeals. Tough crowd, this divinity business. Then there's the stories. Oh, the stories. People built entire civilizations around them. Talking snakes, burning bushes, guys walking on water. Seas parting like automatic doors at a supermarket. And people nod along like it's a history lesson. Meanwhile, The same people will tell their kids not to believe in Santa Claus because it's not real. Wait a minute. You just traded one magical old guy who knows when you're sleeping for another magical old guy who knows everything and never stops watching. At least Santa only judges you once a year and brings presents. You got to appreciate the creativity, though. Religion was the original special effects department. Water into wine, loaves and fishes, ascending into the sky. It's a blockbuster trilogy right there. And yet, with all those miracles, nobody ever thought to cure smallpox or fix the plumbing in ancient cities. No, it's always something dramatic but unhelpful, like, look, a bush that's on fire but not burning. Great, but could we maybe get some antibiotics? And here's the real kicker. Every religion claims to be the one true path, but they can't all be right. Somebody's got to be wrong, or maybe, just maybe, they all got it wrong. Maybe they're all telling the same bedtime story in different languages. Our God is the real one. No, ours is. Prove it. I can't, you just have to believe. That's not proof, that's marketing. That's like arguing which invisible flavor of ice cream tastes best. And every version of God seems to have human emotions, anger, jealousy, pride, vengeance. It's like they created God in their own image and forgot to remove the emotional baggage. Our God is loving but jealous. Loving and jealous, that's a toxic relationship, not divinity. You never hear, our God is confident and chill. No, he's always furious, insecure, and ready to smite somebody. The universe's supreme being has the emotional stability of a reality show contestant. And think about prayer. You're telling me there's a divine plan, but you can change it by asking nicely. Oh Lord, please let my team win the Super Bowl. Sure, because the all-powerful ruler of time and space is sitting there flipping a cosmic coin to see who gets the touchdown. If prayer worked the way people think it does, every hospital would be empty, and every lottery would end in a tie. Congratulations, everyone prayed correctly this week. But here's the thing, they need you to keep praying because prayer keeps you dependent. It keeps you coming back just like any good business. You pray, they promise results later, you don't get what you want, and they tell you it's your fault for not believing enough. That's a no refund policy that even the phone company envies. They've turned spiritual life into a customer loyalty program. Keep the faith. Maybe next time you'll get an upgrade to heaven. And have you noticed how religion is always there when something goes wrong, but never before? If a natural disaster hits, it's God's will. If it misses, it's God's mercy. Heads they win, tails you lose. No matter what happens, they've got a divine explanation ready to go. If your team wins, thank God. If they lose, God's testing us. Apparently, God has a real thing for sports metaphors and human suffering. And they always talk about how perfect the plan is. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Tell that to the mosquito. What's his grand purpose in the divine scheme? Pest control for the Almighty. Everything happens for a reason, except when it doesn't, and then it's a mystery. That's the fallback answer. It's a mystery. That's religious language for, I don't know, but I'm going to sound deep while saying it. It's funny how the most mysterious parts of religion always seem to cover the biggest plot holes. Why does evil exist? Mystery. Why do good people suffer? Why does God need cash? Mystery. You'd think after a few thousand years of worship, they could update the FAQ section. And for all this talk about humility, these institutions sure love attention. Giant buildings, shiny robes, ceremonies, processions. It's like Broadway with guilt. Be humble before God, they say, while standing under chandeliers the size of a book. You can practically hear the hypocrisy echoing off the marble. We're poor in spirit, but rich in donations. And here's the punchline of the whole thing. People keep falling for it. Not because they're stupid, but because they're scared. Life's confusing, death's mysterious, and the idea that somebody somewhere has a plan makes the chaos feel bearable. That's the hook. They sell certainty in a world that doesn't offer any. We have the answers. Well, sure, but the answers keep changing, don't they? Every few hundred years, they rewrite the rules, reinterpret the book, repackage the message, and call it timeless truth. It's like a divine software update, new commandments, same bugs. You'd think after all this time, they'd stop pretending to speak for the Creator and just admit they're guessing. But no, they double down. We have the truth, the light, and the way. You ask for proof, and they say, you just have to believe. That's not a conversation. That's a sales pitch for eternity. The oldest one in the book. Literally. And yet, for all the nonsense, you can't deny the power of it. Religion has been the best storytelling franchise in human history. Better than any empire, better than any corporation, better than any political movement. They figured out how to control people's behavior long before anyone else. Promise them heaven later if they behave now. It's the ultimate delayed reward system. Eternal bliss on layaway. But here's the kicker. If heaven's so great, why does nobody want to go today? Every believer says they can't wait to meet their Maker. But when the bus is leaving, nobody wants to get on. They'll fight tooth and nail to stay here one more day on this broken, polluted, overtaxed planet. Makes you wonder if deep down they don't really believe the brochure. And that's what it all comes down to, a contradiction. Religion says, love thy neighbor, but people still fight over doctrine. It says, the meek shall inherit the earth, but the preachers drive luxury cars. It says, thou shalt not kill, but bless his armies before they go to war. If hypocrisy were a religion, it'd be the biggest one on earth. And maybe that's the real revelation. Humans aren't looking for truth, they're looking for comfort. And as long as the story feels good, they'll keep buying it, because that's what it is, a story. A big, elaborate bedtime story for grown-ups who can't handle the dark. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you admit it's a story. Just don't call it truth, and don't try to sell it door to door. That's all I'm saying. If there is a divine creator, he's probably laughing at all of us for taking it so seriously.